Hello and welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. 3.5 hours ago, a sage of our times, a visionary, an immortal who walks amongst us dressed as a human, told us that 308 is what the score would be, and 308 is what Pakistan needs to win now. That modern day sage is, of course, me. Humbly accept that fact. I'm Gaurav Kapur. I'm also available for marriage proposals vetting, for kids naming ceremonies, and of course for picking lottery numbers. I have with me Mr. Zaheer Khan and Mr. Uthappa.
So predicting the unpredictable.
Exactly.
Because no one can really predict about Pakistan, how they're going to go about their bowling.
Yeah. We'll get there slowly.
You actually predicted that.
I predicted that.
Yeah.
I will
This prediction was about that.
I will also be predicting what you will be having for dinner, what you will be wearing tomorrow. I'm going to be predicting all these things. I will also be predicting the weather for tomorrow for the India-New Zealand game, but all that in a second. Right now, I just want to enjoy my 11th Circle expert couch because, I mean, others get very excited because they're not used to getting it right very often. With me, it's just a way of life.
Drum rolls, drum rolls.
Drum rolls. Drum rolls, Desh ka Gaurav. I like how you said Desh ka Gaurav. Well, for Pakistan, their bowlers, well, the last 10, let me tell you, Australia was flying. They were flying away with a 256 for 4 at the end of the 40th over. The back 10, we thought would get at least 70, 80 runs. At the end, they only got 51 runs, did Australia in the back 10 and lost 6 wickets. Really, Pakistan taking that confidence up. And in fact, if you take it after our combox, right, when we went on air at the end of the 35th, that spell, Robbie, has only got them 79 runs and Pakistan's taken 7 wickets. Boy, that's a turnaround.
It is. It's a massive turnaround. I think they had no business scoring only 307.
Yeah.
They had every reason. Even if they played run a ball from the 35th over, they were at 228 at 35th over. If they played run a ball, they were 320.
Yeah.
You know, and all they had to do was that. And that's why at that point is so critical for that one batsman to bat through, and they just missed the plot there. I think that's why they missed. They just.
Yeah,
missed,
there you
missed
go.
A whole trick.
There you go. I mean, after Warner's wicket fell, Zach, safe to say that that's when it sort of started? I mean, or Khwaja, when Khwaja's wicket fell?
I know it's early to say, but I think Pakistan is way behind in this game.
Yeah.
You know, those first 25 overs which they bowled in the first innings, those first 25 overs have maybe cost them the game. Right. Because there is enough in the wicket. I think how wickets fell at the back end of the innings, you know, those last 14-15 overs which you're talking about, that kind of help was right through and through.
Yeah.
So that's something which they should have capitalized. You know, the only one bowler turned to the party today and turned on the field was Amir.
Yeah.
You know, apart from that, and what was he doing? You're just getting the ball in that area which is around 6 meter. Just, you know, getting those percentage of deliveries higher in that area, and he was rewarded with wickets. None of the other bowlers were able to do that. I think that they bowled too much on the shorter side.
Maybe Wahab to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
He was also underbowled, is what I feel.
But that's the only help which Amir got. Apart from him, I didn't see, you know, other bowlers were good in patches.
Yeah.
But they were leaking runs through and through. And to add to that, the fielding of Pakistan team today was well below par.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
2 dropped catches by Asif Ali.
I mean,
there was a third dropped catch as well. I think that was Sarfaraz.
Even the ground fielding. The ground fielding, they were very patchy. They didn't look like they were actually ready for the battle.
But they woke up in the back 10. In the back 10, they sort of woke up. Once play went their way.
I think it's too late.
I think it was more unforced errors than something that Pakistan kind of initiated.
Okay.
I think Australians made the mistakes there. I thought they definitely missed a trick in that last 15 overs. They needed one batsman to stay out there and then the rest to revolve around him. But they just missed that completely. Yeah. But also, I just thought, as far as Pakistan is concerned, I thought Wahab Riaz also bowled extremely well. I thought he was underbowled, underutilized today. He was extremely unfortunate. 2 catches in his bowling were dropped by Asif Ali. One of Finch, one of Warner.
I think Asif Ali would probably be buying Wahab Riaz's dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I think he should. It's the least he will do, right? Sorry, brother. Very sorry, brother. But Mohammad Amir, of course, was sunshine in an otherwise cold, dreary day for Pakistan. We'll pull those stats up again. He's got a 5-4 today, right? He's got 5 wickets. He's given away just 30 runs. And you look at that kind of performance and you're going, oh my God, how are we giving away 307 runs when you got a 5-4 there? But there you go. Zach, there's his performance leading up to and in this tournament.
Well, he was leading up to the tournament. He was pretty much not been selected for this World Cup squad. You know, they almost dropped him. It was last minute inclusion and turned out to be a good one. I think the conditions which are on offer in England, and usually that's the case. You know, he's been good. So if there is help in the wicket, he's always going to do well. These kind of early start for this kind of tournament is going to go a long way for someone like Amir.
Yeah.
Because he's got the potential. It's just that last 1 year or so he's been off color, not really finding that shape. Which it's good to see that, you know, that shape is back. It's still not the best of the shapes which we've seen him bowl with, but you know, it's certainly good sign for his confidence. You know, it's going to help him grow from here. You know, bring back what rhythm we have seen Amir bowl in, and the kind of potential which he has.
Yeah. He's also sort of Pakistan's Shikhar Dhawan, right? When it comes to the big stage and ICC tournaments, suddenly just ups the game and likes to own that tournament.
I think what he did really well, or at least in this tournament, what you've seen so far is that he's just really stuck to his basics and what works. You know, that 3/4 length, he's pitched the ball up. You know, he's made sure that the ball's pitched up, and the batsman played most deliveries. They're not leaving deliveries. He's not trying to look flashy. He's just trying to be consistent with where he delivers the ball, and those good areas have brought him returns. You can see, I think the only real variation is that knuckle ball that he's bowling, which he got, I think, Khwaja or Sean Marsh today.
Zach knows about that ball.
Yeah. So
he knows a bit about it.
So you know, so he's not really stepping out of himself too much. He's staying very much within himself and being really disciplined about where he's you know, pitching the balls on the pitch map.
What impressed you the most? Was it that? What impressed you about Amir today? The length essentially that he was bowling.
Well, the important thing is, you know, when there is help in the wicket, it's important to slow things down. I think what he's been doing in last 3 matches well is the fact that, you know, he's slowing things down. Like, you know, he's not looking to go blast the batsman out.
Yeah.
You know, he's just making use of the conditions which are on offer. You know, he's coming in and looking to bowl in that area with a new ball, and he's going back to his variations only in his second spell. So, you know, the first spell he's trying to be disciplined. He's trying to get the ball in the right areas, because when there is help on offer, you know, it's as a bowler, you just got to make use of that.
Yeah,
like, you know, today's innings so far and the bowling performance of Pakistan, barring Amir, is a classic example of even though there is a lot of help in the wicket, you still got to get the ball in the right area, isn't it?
It's about
that's something
calming your nerves as a bowler,
yeah.
not being overexcited, and really just being disciplined on that kind of a track, because you know that there is help in that track. Otherwise, what tends to happen is you get excited when bowlers look at fresh green wickets, and then they just are like, wow, they're overexcited and they're like all over the shop.
Yeah.
You know, and that
it's actually about the story which GK always talks about. You know, there's this kid who was asking to win a lottery.
Yeah.
And he used to wish it all the time. But the only thing which was missing was he didn't buy the lottery ticket. So there's enough help in the wicket, but the only thing which was missing was the balls were not enough balls were pitched in that area to give Pakistan bowlers success.
I like how he's plugged my side business, that if you need help picking your lottery numbers this evening, of course, I'm available at a 10% consultancy. But 10%, well, talk about giving only 10% of the runs away, which is what Mohammad Amir did today, and everybody else was wavered. They were sort of all over the shop. But let's talk about the Australia batting. Now, David Warner, both Warner and Finch, today they set it up in the first 25 overs, 160 odd, just 1 wicket down. Finch continued his good form against Pakistan, and Warner continued his good form in this tournament. 4 innings now that he's played. He's got 100, he's got a couple of 50s. He's back.
Well, yeah, as in the other games, if he had scored 100, like in that 89, if he'd gone on to score 100, we wouldn't have even questioned his his flow or his ability, you know, and the fact that he looked a little rusty or, you know, the rhythm was missing. But in today's game, you could see after a point, I think he was inspired by the way Finch was batting.
Yeah.
He saw Finch going on the aggressive from the get-go, and he felt, you could see that there were times where he was trying to catch up with Finch just a little bit as a batsman, which tends to sometimes work in your favor when you kind of just break out of a mold and really want to express yourself. But he was also very cognizant about, okay, I've got this going, but it's not there I don't have it completely, so let me stay with where this is today. And he was very present with where it was today, and he batted based on exactly what he felt where he was at today.
A quick question. When we were watching Finch bat, you said something about his trigger movement today and how he was reaching for the ball. Tell us something about that approach that impressed you.
So generally what you see Finch do is he's got a front foot press, and today the only time he used a front foot press was when he stepped out to, I think, Bahab or Shaheen Afridi to hit a boundary past cover point. But otherwise, what he was doing is just going on the back foot and waiting and not moving this left leg across or towards the ball. He was keeping his leg exactly where it was. I think that was specially for him for the incoming delivery, so that his leg doesn't go across. And that seemed to work for him on this wicket. It's the first time I've seen him do it in this tournament. I haven't seen him use this initial movement before in this tournament, because I watched his batting pretty closely, and I know that he's got a front foot press. Most Australians have a front foot press, but today he just had a back foot press and just wait. It was a back foot press and hold, not a back foot and not a back in a cross movement.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
and that's what helped him get into position.
I think that's what on this wicket kind of helped him, and added to the fact that he's also batting well. He's got rhythm going for himself.
Yeah.
And he's batting with a lot of confidence. Also adds to that. And they were bowling the right areas for him. With that initial moment when you bowl back over length, a slightly short pull in cuts right there for you. You know?
Exactly, because you're into position so early.
And the classic example was how Wahab Riaz got him to go in the slip.
Yeah.
Because he was on that back foot. He is always going to be late. So when he was looking to play that, when the ball was pitched in the right area, he couldn't get it away.
Correct.
And that's how he
edged that ball, and then Asif Ali missed it.
Of course, dropped that catch. Otherwise, this opening partnership could have been broken far earlier, because this opening partnership has really been on fire. I mean, both Finch and Warner, as you can see, there was a 96 against Afghanistan. There was a century plus stand today. By the way, I just want to say, I had predicted that Warner would get 146. But the opening partnership became 146. There's something happening today. There's clouds over Mumbai, but I can see the stars and I can see how they're aligning.
Must be just the cyclone Vayu that's kind of just changed things around.
Something is happening. There's a cyclone in my brain.
Yeah,
that's what it
exactly.
is.
I think there's something.
There always is, but today I'm being able to harness it to positive energy. Almost electricity. From the Thor in my brain to the Thor on the pitch, that is David Warner. I think Thor or Battle Ram is a good sort of term for him, right? Because he really, sometimes you feel like he's just going at the water, just hit it, just hammer it, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's very unlike David. In the last 3 games, you've seen him being more circumspect, he's more respectful, hitting along the carpet, not really hitting in the air. Today, the first time he looked to go on the aggressive is when he got out. Yeah. And the ball before that, you could sense that he wants to let go and let loose, because he got in a position to pull, but in the end, he realized the ball is not there and he defended it. And the next ball, he just went for it.
Yeah.
Generally, you see him do that once in the top 10, once he sees off 4 or 5 overs, that he's going to go after the bowling. But in this tournament, you've seen him be more circumspect, play to the merit of the ball, hit along the carpet. Only if the ball's short, that's his go-to shot, he plays that well. Otherwise, he's just played real good cricketing shots the whole time.
The question about, actually, either of you can answer it. So there was a drinks break around the 34th, 35th over, right? At that point in time, brilliant position for Australia. I think they were 228 for 3, were they? Or for 2?
228 for 2.
Yeah, for 3, I think, at that point in time. Irrespective. So you're at that position, right? You're going, all right, look at the batting we have today. We've got even Stark coming in at 9 who can sort of swing the ball. At that point in time, does a call get taken saying, all right, we're going to chase 350? And then suddenly everybody gets too flashy, too cute, going for a score that you feel is in grasp, and then falls short by 40 runs. Is that a possibility? Could that have happened today?
Yeah, it's not that kind of a wicket. So that is something which the communication maybe hasn't happened, and also to do with the fact that they were in a very strong position.
Yeah.
So at that stage, it doesn't matter what kind of pass score is on this particular track. I still feel the pass score would have been say 230, 240 is a good score on this track. So Pakistan had given him 70, 80 runs extra by that logic. But when you're going strong and you're in that position, then it's worth taking chances. Yes, there are days when it's not going to come off. Today's conditions and the surface is not the ideal surface to go bang bang and keep hitting those sixes and boundaries. But when you are in a strong position, you want to just kind of suss the fact as well that if we are put in this kind of situation again, can we have this kind of approach? Because on another day, you would not see Australia approaching in that manner, because in modern day cricket somehow you feel that you can get to this 350, 360 runs from the position which they were in. If you're around 200 runs at say 32, 33 or mark, then obviously you want to get 140, 150.
But isn't it a very Australian thing to say, okay, we're 3 wickets down, we got 15 overs to go, let's look for a big score and go after it. That generally
that's what they tried to do.
That's what they tried to do.
And,
but
and they went
at that point, that's when the batsman should have come into play and said, hey, we recognize this wicket. They bowled badly from the first 25 overs. They're bowling fairly well now. Let's get a 300 first and then reassess where we are. Yeah, that's what they should have done ideally.
Absolutely, spot on.
But that's not what they did. Eventually, I think they just went with the dressing room instructions and saying, okay, we're going to go for 350 now. And they went hell for leather. And now they paid for that.
Yeah, they have, and they've fallen short. I mean, they had 307, and it's weird to say that, how can you say 307 has fallen short? Only looking at where they were at the end of the 35th. So for them to lose 7 wickets for 79 runs in the 15 overs, that's why you look at it and say, okay, maybe they didn't need to be so one-dimensional in the last and lose so many wickets, probably just hang around a bit, and that 79 could have been 99, and suddenly you're looking at a 327 score and going, all right, even if Pakistan bat out of their skins, on this surface, that probably can't happen. Also, in case rain comes, as it has been coming in the last few days, they'll always be behind whatever Duckworth, Lewis, and Stern. There is a Stern also there.
So it's not like this is a bad score. This is actually a very good score. But just given from Australia's perspective where they were placed at the 35th over, they've fallen well short.
And they've got one bowler less today.
And they've got
one
bowler.
It's giving an illusion of they've fallen short.
I
think
that's absolutely
right. The score would have been
still sticking with this pitch is 250.
Of course.
Telling you Pakistan can get this. I'm telling you they can get it.
Is that what you think? I think.
Who is pushing?
Babar Azam.
Who is pushing their luck?
Babar Azam. Babar Azam is going to push it, and I don't think I'm pushing my luck. Or maybe I am. Maybe this trend has to end. Maybe this weight is just too much on my shoulders, My young shoulders can't handle all this responsibility, because with great power does.
Young, he says.
Great. Young shoulders. With great power comes great responsibility. Okay, well, there's Danish, our superhero, who's in England, and of course he's been sending us all these lovely videos, and he's in Nottingham because that's where the game is happening tomorrow. And we try to ask him, listen, is it raining? What's going on when it rains? What do you do? What should everybody do? What should the whole world do when it rains besides opening umbrellas? This is what Danish had to say.
Hey guys, my name is Danish and we're here in Nottingham to cover the India versus New Zealand game. But the fact is, when it rains, there is barely any cricket. In fact, the only thing about cricket I've seen is that white ball at the back there. We're not too far from that day when teams actually go out to the toss and say India won the toss and decided to swim first. So, how can we make this game a monsoon sport? Let's see what the people of Nottingham have to say to us. So we're actually picking up creative ideas from the people in Nottingham on how to make cricket a rain sport. What is your creative idea?
Well, they could use a rubber ball.
Instead of boots, wear rain boots.
Yeah.
Play on the field, enjoy the rain.
Captain Russell, अब तुम्हें 3 गुना लगाम देना पड़ेगा. बुलाओ यार उसको बात करने के लिए. Ask someone to come ना बाबा, please.
Well, I think get rid of the grounds and move cricket on to cemented surfaces.
Right.
Doesn't matter whether it's rainy or not. You can just play cricket, change the ball, play with a softball. And you got yourself a sport. Or move to indoor cricket.
Do you think they should just start playing a football match instead of a cricket match in rain?
Yeah, Of course, because it's an open field. You can play.
One tip बरसा पानी. इस पे वो बात कर रहा है क्या हमारे से? ईशाय.
Get a heater under the wicket so the wicket stays dry.
Give players a raincoat and a proper studs so that they can run around the field.
Back in India, I mean, we have Kanga League.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
there are major players like Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar who have played that league.
Yeah. Yeah.
And apparently what happens, this league is played through monsoon.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, why if we can have it in India, why can't we have it in England? Or maybe perhaps anywhere in the world.
Maybe improbably if it rains like this continuously, we should give them boats and swimsuits and the fins which these guys use so that they can run and catch the ball.
क्रिकेट में आग लगा दी. कैसे होगा क्रिकेट मैच का कवरेज?
I think we need to find more creative ways to decide the winner.
Yeah.
Probably in the stadium, we do a Mexican wave
Okay.
of the two teams, supporters.
India's winning.
We play indoor cricket, so
Yeah.
we rent out a sports hall, 6 overs each. That's how you decide it.
The teams can play book cricket, turn the book around and read the score.
Listen, I have one more question. Do you think we should have a peacock in the team because every time it rains, the peacock can start dancing around the stadium?
I wish so.
What else do you think they can do, mate?
Uno.
Yeah.
Uno, card
Uno,
game.
yeah, of
The Uno
course,
card
yeah,
game.
yeah. Which team do you think would win this competition?
England, 100%, obviously.
One tip बरसा पानी. Fielder ने out करा दी. Alright, so we're here to cover the World Cup, but it looks like we're spending more time covering ourselves. Thanks to the rain, we just spoke to a bunch of people. They gave us some really fun ideas. I actually want to take it back into the studio now. What do you guys think? How do we make cricket a monsoon sport? Come on, spill those ideas out to us.
Danish, get indoors right now. He looked like a polar bear. He looked like he was going skiing.
Yeah, it did look like he's
It
going.
was like with Emerson. He was heading to the poles on an expedition.
What was with the yellow though?
I think he's an Australian supporter. Yeah, I think that was the only real double down thick jacket he could find for
yeah.
skiing. Anything, it doesn't matter, no matter what color. You can tell he's a Bangalore boy, right?
Yeah.
Can't handle that cold. Gloves and big jacket and but some good ideas there. I think the most workable of those ideas is just put a roof on the stadium like the Telstra Dome. Just do it. I don't know why England doesn't do it. Put a roof on. Put a roof on, son.
They can actually. Bad idea. They can afford because they have 6 months of rain.
Yeah.
You know.
Or a big umbrella. A big umbrella. Otherwise, just play centre court Wimbledon. Maybe just do a little. Play at Wembley. Wembley has a roof as well now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wembley have a
Wembley's
roof.
got a roof.
So there you go. If it's good enough for Wembley, why is it not good enough for Lords? Please answer this question. Right now, the question that needs to be answered is for Pakistan. Can they get to 308? Well, they've got the batting firepower to get there. Remember, their bowling, of course, we've been saying is a stronger suit than their batting. But today, the batting really has to step up. Because 308, as Zach is saying and Robin is saying, it's not going to be easy, not on this pitch. Australia, of course, playing one bowler short today. But here, you look at this, a lot relying on the top three, as it does for India, it does for Pakistan, and a lot especially on Babar Azam.
Well, yeah, for Pakistan, definitely. I think a lot depends on Babar Azam, Shoaib Malik as well. I think the experience will count on this track, especially chasing down that score. I'm pretty certain Asif Ali would want to contribute as well, given how he's fielded today. He'd want to make up for that. So a lot of these guys will be, ready to go, and also would depend on how. Honestly, on this wicket, I feel the Australians will bowl. If they bowl the right areas, it'll be difficult, irrespective of what lineup they have. Because they've got a quality pace attack, and if they bowl the right areas, because you have to understand, as on a wickets that's used and that hasn't been used and has been covered over the last couple of days, there are going to be some dents on the wicket, and those dents can harden up a little bit as the day goes by, and when they get hard, they really kick off from those dents.
Yeah,
that can be really dangerous.
For Stark and Cummins. Obviously hurting after the India game, right? Because they gave away quite a few there. Yeah. But otherwise, they have been fantastic together.
Yes, I mean, Australian bowling attack is looking very good, and
Yeah, but they've been carrying the weight. They're doing the heavy lifting, aren't they? The two of them.
Of course, there is no doubt about that, and you'll see that from today's game as well, especially on this track. I think Stark, you'll see, unlike the previous match, which was against India on a different surface when there was not much of help for the seamers. He was bowling that back of the length.
Yeah.
So that's something which you will not see today. He would look to get the ball. He'll look to get the ball up.
Yeah.
He'll look to shape that delivery. Two left-handers as openers. So you've seen it with Chris Gayle as well. He was getting it fuller, and from there, with the left-handers angle also, you can get LBW also into play if the ball doesn't swing and gets on with the angle of left armour, or if it shapes out, then you have slip and caught behind also into play. So I think it's a mountain to climb for.
It's a mountain to climb for Pakistan, is it? But will Fakhar Zaman and Imam be looking at saying, all right, we know it's Cummins and Stark, play them out, because after that it's Coulton Isle, not in form, really with the ball, Kane Richardson playing his first game, and then they don't really have their fifth bowler is pretty much Glenn Maxwell, right? So we can see these guys off. If we can stay there 10-12 overs without losing a wicket, even if we below run a ball, we give our batters a chance.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's what they'd be thinking, in my view, I think Nathan Coulton Isle should open the bowling.
Wow.
Because I think he's a little out of form. So bowling in tandem with someone who's in form and getting wickets would do him a world of good. Maybe pick up a couple of wickets up front because there's pressure from the other end, and you know that the batsman won't go after you.
Yeah.
So he's got the opportunity. So the batsman look to go after him, and with swing with the new ball, for all you know, he may get a couple of wickets, which brings him back to form, which makes Australia a much more formidable bowling unit. Because you bring Pat Cummins at first change, and then the batsman is thinking, oh, okay, got
Suddenly the
bowlers
plan is
coming at
derailed,
me at the whole time.
Let's just quickly look at the Australian attack once more. You've got Stark and Cummins, of course, who are their sort of linchpins, and then you've got Coulton Isle, Kane Richardson, and then you're looking at that and saying they got Sean Marsh in for Marcus Stoinis, which means the fifth bowler quota is probably going to be picked up by Glenn Maxwell, maybe a few by Aaron Finch. You could even see Stephen Smith with the ball, but Australia has that in mind. They're going, all right, man, their fifth bowling option, those 10 overs are a hot spot to sort of, let's survive till we get those so we can capitalize.
That's also one of the reasons why they were looking to go so hard. They wanted to have that cushion as well.
Yeah.
But looking at Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, the way they've been bowling, and Coulton Isle as well, he's been good with his lengths, and the wicket allows you to be a bit more positive, bit more aggressive on today's day. So that's something which will work in Nathan Coulton Isle's favour.
Yeah.
Two left-handers. That's why I feel they will still continue with Pat Cummins and Stark. And once there are right-handers in play, I think Nathan Coulton Isle, he shapes the ball away. He'll be able to pitch the ball fuller, and there is enough help on offer from the wicket. So that's something which should work in their favour. All in all, it will be a very special effort from Pakistan batsmen if they have to win this match.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be, say, 90-10 in Australia's favour.
So you're saying, so if I was just to ask you, who you're backing to win, who you're saying will win? Australia. 90-10, 100-0.
No.
Australia's winning?
Danish's jacket.
Danish's jacket is the real winner today.
Yeah.
It's the real winner. You,
Aussies,
Robbie?
Aussies all.
Aussie, you're saying Aussie? You're saying Australia?
I think 70-30 to Australia.
Okay, so then I'll say Pakistan. I'll say Pakistan to win. What do you think? Let us know. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live on Twitter. We are available to listen to your compliments and your grievances. There's no grievances, it's only compliments. Send them in to us. We'll see you at the end of the 15th over on Cricbuzz Combox. Is all we have time for. On My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. 308 for Pakistan to win. They will.